And welcome back to another Sunday Sit Down here on Above the Fold by Ted Lund. I am your host, Ted Lund. Joining us today, we have a brand new entrant into the City Commission race in Key West for District 4, Sarah Compton. Sarah, nice to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much, Ted. Thanks for having me.
Well, I know you've been busy the other day attending the grand opening of the lofts down in Bahama Village. Let's get an update on that.
I did. They are absolutely beautiful. We got to tour the units. We got to hear from all of our elected officials, and we even had Clayton Lopez and Commissioner Weekly both there who helped get this thing going. I was able to congratulate Mr. Castillo on seeing it through, and looks like a lovely place to call home. I got to talk to a lot of the residents, and they are very excited.
Well, and it's one of the most beautiful parts of town, really. I enjoy whenever I'm down covering the courthouse, being down there, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, getting a Cuban coffee and just kind of wandering around. It's so quiet and so peaceful. So, very, very happy to hear about that. And I know that there are still some units available, both for the
For
affordable housing portion, but also the homeowner portion.
for homeowner, it's about 50% are left.
Hmm.
For the rental, there is one unit left.
Yeah,
They're
that's
99% full from what they told us today.
Well, that is good news. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard on Morning Magazine one of the folks from A.H. Monroe actually talking about that. So, great project. Still not enough affordable housing in Key West, unfortunately, but definitely making an impact.
Yes, yeah, it will. And it is a really beautiful addition to the Bahama Village area.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your race for District 4. You just announced last Monday, and of course, we broke that here on Above the Fold, along with Sam Kaufman letting people know that he was running or announcing that he was running for mayor,
Hmm.
and also Chris Massiot
Yeah.
running for the position that is going to be open due to the retirement of Mary Lou Hoover. So, what? Just give us an idea what the impetus for you running for city commission is.
Um, I want to bring community back to City Hall. I believe that this community is important and that they deserve representation that is listening to them. I'm looking really forward to getting to speak to everybody in the community. They will be seeing a lot more of me soon. Um, but that's our biggest point is bringing that honesty and integrity and real community into City Hall again, as well as following. We do have a really really great opportunity right now to follow the roadmap that the grand jury has given us. So I think that it's time that we put people in place who want to actually follow all of those recommendations and put them in place to where they stay in place, not
Well,
just check boxes.
yeah, and I know that there's some frustration on the dais right now. I believe with Commissioner Kaufman and also Commissioner Haskell from District 1 that there's really not enough being done to implement those guidelines that were released in that grand jury report. I know that there was supposed to be some on the agenda for next Wednesday's meeting, but they didn't appear on the agenda. I've been working on kind of a summary of what's coming up there, and not only were none of the recommendations on there, also no more discussion about an inspector general, which is unfortunate. That's kind of an important one.
Right.
But also no mention of the contract with Stantec for the water quality monitoring, which I know is expected to be on this next um, agenda and is not. And it just seems like there's a lack of communication between City Hall and those members of the dais, or at least some members of the dais. I think others are being communicated with, but it's just very frustrating to watch. And 30 years of covering politics in Key West, I've never seen a city commission like this. It's and a city hall. Quite frankly, it's very, very frustrating.
I agree that it's frustrating. I don't. I can't imagine any reason why there would be pushback from about the inspector general. I think that that is probably the most important of all of the grand jury's recommendations, and the fact that it is, set aside indefinitely, and definitely did not show up on this next commission meeting. I can't speak for the current commission, but I can tell you that the grand jury recommendations, I think, are absolutely paramount for us changing the way things have been done in Key West.
Well, and the frustration really links all the way back to the state attorney's office, which started investigating this and led to the indictments of city attorney Ron Ramsing, his brother Raj, the chief building official, and Jim Young, the head of code enforcement. I believe up to 21 felony counts right now, more expected. That grand jury has since been disbanded, but they are in the process of impaneling another grand jury right now that is also going to continue looking at this. And it is interesting to me, one of the recommendations, just to put it in lay terms, was that commissioners actually read backup before they vote on things. Last several meetings, it's been clear that there are several members of the dais that just aren't doing their legwork,
Right.
and looking into that stuff. Just very, very frustrating. So, give us what your main goals are, and how you look forward to implementing them if elected.
My main goals are getting the transparency there that, quite frankly, for a very long time has not been in our city hall. And there are a lot of ways to do that. For instance, with the powerboat races at Bayview Park this morning, if we had a public dashboard or anything that lets the community know, an email blast for commissioners, these are all very, very easily doable things.
Well, we don't want to do that. That'd put me out of a job.
Well, I'll try to just give the need to know. No, I'm kidding. I think that it's important that the community know what's happening. It's definitely important that the commissioners know what's happening. The fact that there has been a lot of frustration that I've seen from commissioners because they aren't getting any information from City Hall. It just isn't acceptable, and it is an easy fix.
Well, and it doesn't help that you have a city manager that absolutely refuses to talk to the media. I know that there was some frustration on State Attorney Dennis Ward's part on Morning Magazine just about a little over a month ago, and there doesn't seem to be any traction there. It's hard for me to believe that the mayor, Denise Enriquez, isn't encouraging him to do that, because frankly he's kind of getting killed all the way around. But I guess, I mean, we see this is kind of local government, I think, mimicking what's happening on the national stage, which is if you just do what you want and don't talk to anybody, what are they really going to do about it? So
yeah, I mean, communication is paramount. It is absolutely paramount, and that is communication with the community in any way that you can, whether it is media, like I said, a community dashboard. It has to be done. For there to be transparency, there has to be community involvement. Without community involvement, they can say transparency and they can say we're checking off these boxes and they can do all of that, but that isn't what transparency is. It requires communication.
Well, and this is one of the things. This is a classic example of it with Race World Offshore. They knew last year they almost couldn't fit 75 boats at the outer mole. This year they registered, I think they're up to 96. I just heard they added another boat. And the proposal to have kind of an off-site pits area at Bayview Park, right in the middle of a kind of a sleepy little residential community. I know that in communicating with Commissioner Haskell, whose district that is in, that she wasn't aware of it until she received an email from the city manager's office. And she had expressed concerns to the acting city attorney. I'm not sure if things have totally turned over to Mayan Downs yet up in Orlando, but still hadn't gotten a response as of the time we recorded this interview. And there was just a whole lot of money spent on kind of refurbishing that park. So it's
a ton of money.
it's kind of a shame. And having lived in that neighborhood, I can't imagine having all of that in there. Now, I have gotten some pushback locally from groups, touting the financial benefit and the good of Race World Offshore. I believe last year they raised almost $200,000 for Samuel's house, which is fine, but it just seems like this should have been more well thought out.
Absolutely, and I love the boat races. I have always had a great time watching the boat races, as I think everyone else does. It's a huge draw this time of year, and this time of year we need a huge draw. It's a very important aspect of our economy in the early fall. I do think that it should have been handled differently. 2 days notice isn't enough notice for anything. And there are other options for having that offsite area. It doesn't make sense to me that Bayview Park would be the answer.
Well, and of course, the city doesn't really have any control over all of that commercial property over by the now defunct Sears. But the city does have a relationship with the owners of that property and actually stages vehicles that are both coming in and leaving the fleet of the city of Key West. So it seems like that would have been a very easy connection for the city to make.
At least an avenue to explore before Bayview Park, certainly.
Well, now one of the things that's coming up is that the Key West Farmers Market, which usually takes place out there where the main pits are, Truman Waterfront, they have a permit, a valid permit, and an agreement to set up at Bayview Park, and now it looks like there's not going to be any room for them there. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all shakes out.
Yeah, I am interested to see what happens. I think that it's important that we reward people for doing the right thing, which is what the market did. They got their permit, they did those things, and we should honor that. That's just that's just common sense. That's why we have these things in place.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. Well, Sarah, let people know if they want to get involved in your campaign or learn more about you, how they can do that.
ComptonForCommissioner.com, and that will be expanding as we go. But right now, you can hop on there, read a little bit about me, and you can sign up to be a volunteer, donate, request a yard sign, which are quite a ways out, but we decided to go ahead and start getting our list. We've had a great reaction so far. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and talk to me about ideas that they have for the neighborhood. There's a lot of excitement, and I'm really, really excited that so many people want to be a part of this.
Well, and of course, you're going to be campaigning, presumably, if she decides to run again, against one of the people specifically named in the grand jury report. that didn't follow the recommendation herself, that of course being Commissioner Lisette Carey. So be interesting to see how that all shakes out here in the next few months, and really before that election in August. Well, Sarah, I know you've got to run. Thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us here on Sit Down Sunday. Once again, that website.
That is ComptonForCommissioner.com.
All right, that is another Sunday Sit Down with Sarah Compton. I'm Ted Lund. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe above the fold on Substack.